Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to Unparalleled Universe, and today we have a very special presentation because what we're looking at is a pre-production sample of the brand new Animal Warriors of the Kingdom Primal Series Chunari Legionary figures. And huge thank you to the folks over at SperoToys for reaching out and giving me a chance to take an early look at this because I am very excited about this line. I did back the Kickstarter. I'm not 100% sure how many of these figures I have coming my way, but I know that I backed it for, I want to say like at least 4. So I'm really looking forward to them. I was a big fan of the 3 3/4 inch line, so I'm excited to see what they could do in the 6-inch world. And, you know, if this is any indication, they're going to absolutely kill it because this is a pre-production sample, but it's very close to the finished product. There are a couple of things that need to be cleaned up, like they did mention that the torso isn't quite fused together, so the shoulders are loose and the ab crunch doesn't have ratchets, so it's kind of loose, even though I feel like the ab crunch is perfectly fine, to be honest with you, but the shoulders are definitely swinging around a little bit. But, you know, if it wasn't for the shoulders, you would think that this was a completely finished figure that I just bought in the store. That's how nice this is. So it's very close to the final product. And I've got to say, I think they absolutely killed it. This thing came out awesome. Man, I love the design too. I'm always down for any type of like animal humanoid hybrid type of thing, especially when it's something that kind of has ape-like features. And that's what this guy has going on. So this is really awesome. I love the design. I like the red armor and the turquoise like blue belt area. This looks really cool, and the two colors match together very well. And yeah, this is a great looking figure. Really good stuff. I'm really impressed with the articulation too, and we'll take a close look at that when we start posing them up. But yeah, man, the articulation is really great on these guys. So Spero Toys really has something special on their hands, I think. This thing came out really, really dope. Yeah, but let's go ahead and get in close and take a look at the details on him because there is a whole lot of really nice sculpting work on this guy. And looking closely at the details on this figure, starting off with the head, he does have a very cool looking facial expression, looking pretty angry and badass and just ready for war, so that's awesome. And his helmet looks really good too. You can see that there's some nice sculpted detail on there. It sits on the head nicely. It is removable too. I like how we have some different shades of red in there too. That looks nice. And then as for the head sculpt itself, it looks awesome. Look at that. It does note that there are some details in the eyes that may be missing on this copy, so the final product might look a little different, but yeah, this looks good. I like the skin tone of the face and how it's different from the hair. It has a nice contrast. You can see the ears right there. That looks good. The sculpting work on the hair is nice too. So yeah, oh yeah, look at that. That's awesome. Very cool. And then moving down into the body, he does have some really nice sculpting right here for the armor. And you could see that there is a seam right there because the two pieces still need to be fused together. So that won't be there on the finished product, obviously. But yeah, there it is. But yeah, this armor looks really good. And I like the color too. That subtle metallic shiny red looks very nice. I mean, it's not quite straight up metallic, but you know, it does have kind of a shine to it, so that's cool. And look at that. That looks good. And these are soft enough to get out of the way, but they're still pretty solid, you know. But they don't hinder the articulation all that much, and they look good. Ooh, I like that right there. How it has like the details kind of lined in a lighter red color. That's awesome. Oh yeah, and that carries on to right there. That's super good. That looks nice. And then, you know, for the arms and legs, he does have some sculpted fur, which looks really nice. Look at that. And then on the arm, he does have these things on his forearms, and these are removable. So we'll take a look at what he looks like without those in just a minute. But these look really good. I like how that, you know, the light armor color kind of like carries on throughout the entire figure, you know. Like there's some areas that are just kind of like a flat matte red, and then it's kind of highlighted by some metallic areas. So good stuff. And then the legs do have that sculpted fur, and then the boots match the rest of the figure, you know? Look at that. Then he has some nice looking feet. So yeah, really great sculpting work on this guy. A lot of nice details. Oh, I like that facial expression. Definitely looks like a guy that can't be trusted. Look at him. Looks like he's ready to betray his king or some crazy shit. Yeah. So this is a great looking head sculpt. And yeah, there's a lot of great details on this guy throughout. So I really like the way he looks. And then for accessories, he does come with some cool stuff, including 3 different sets of hands. So first off, we have a pair of fists. And then we have a set of open hands. And then we have a set of gripping hands that could be used to hold on to the weapons he comes with. And the weapons he comes with are really cool too. Starting off with the little knife. This looks really good. Check out the designs on the blade. There's a lot of detail in here. And it has a very unique look to it. Nice. I like that a lot. And then he does have a spear as well. And this looks very cool too. And the spear could come apart, and then you could kind of use this as a sword. So that's a nice option to have. But look at that. This spear is very well done. And then he does have his shield as well. And check out the sculpting work on the shield. There we go. That looks very, very nice. Damn, that's awesome. Some really great detail in there. The shield does kind of have like a metallic kind of finish to it. But just slightly, you know. It's very subtle, but nice. And then on the inside here, we do have some sculpted details. And I like how you can move the handle. You have 2 peg options, so you could move it around to wherever you need it. So that's awesome. And he's able to hold it with no problem at all. So yeah, this shield is dope. Very good stuff for the weapons. I like them a lot. They have a very unique look to them. And they're very cool. And he has no problem holding any of these things. So good stuff. And they did send another head, but this head doesn't actually come with this figure. This is part of the Adventurer head pack. And it does note that this isn't quite finished. They have some work to do on the eyes. But as you can see, this is a really good looking head sculpt. Very well sculpted. It does kind of have like a baboon kind of feel because of that blue nose. So yeah, this is dope. It'd be cool to have a couple of these to be like soldiers for the other guy, you know, like if he's like the general, these can be like his guys that kind of run around with them. That'd be awesome. But yeah, look at that. Very well sculpted. A lot of great detail. And it looks very good on the body. So this is cool. And the helmet does fit on this head too without any problem at all. And I actually think that looks a lot better. Look at that. That's badass. So really good stuff. And just to show you very quickly what he looks like when you take the forearm armor off. That's kind of cool. So you could probably swap these between the different figures and kind of come up with your own armor configurations. So that's a lot of fun too. And then now for some size comparisons, I'm going to do my best to show him alongside as many different types of lines as possible. Because this isn't a well-known property, I'm sure a lot of people are going to be trying to find creative ways to fit this in with their collection, you know? So I'm going to show him with a bunch of different things, starting off with the NECA Caesar from Planet of the Apes and the NECA King Kong. So if you need just like a random ape character to hang out with Caesar, this guy might do the job. And then next we have him alongside the Mezco 112 Collective Dr. Zaius and the Nada Toys Wukong. And then next up here we have him alongside the Masterverse 40th Anniversary He-Man and the Masterverse Deluxe Beastman. And I really think that these Primal Series figures are going to fit very well with Masters of the Universe type of things. I feel like they have a very similar vibe. So there's a lot of crossover potential here. And scale-wise, I think that although they're a little on the small side compared to Masterverse, I think they look pretty good. And you could definitely use them for some like soldiers or something for Beastman. And then here we have them alongside the Marvel Legends 20th anniversary of Marvel Legends Captain America and the G.I. Joe Classified Spirit. Next up, we have a Valaverse Action Force figure and a Black Series Imperial Stormtrooper. Next up, we have them alongside a NECA Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Raphael and the NECA Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Animated Razar. And then next up, we have them alongside a Power Rangers Lightning Collection Red Ranger and the DC Icons Flash. And of course, we have to show them with the Marvel Legends Bucky Cap and Marvel Legends Pizza Spider-Man. And then here we have them alongside the Marvel Legends High Evolutionary and the Marvel Legends Animated Series Wolverine. And I have seen a lot of people say that they want to use these figures as like experiments for the High Evolutionary, I think that'll work pretty good. Even though he is pretty big next to the High Evolutionary, I still think that it'll work out okay. And to get him in here with some bigger Marvel Legends, here we have him alongside the Marvel Legends Thing and the Marvel Legends Retro Beast. And then for the final size comparison, here we have him alongside the Marvel Legends 3-pack Daredevil and the Marvel Legends Animated Series Spider-Man. And I know we went all over the place with it. Hopefully there was something in there that was helpful for you and you guys get a good sense of how he'll fit into the other lines in your collection. And this guy has some really great articulation. I really like the setup that we have going on here. It's very similar to G.I. Joe Classified in a lot of ways, but then there's some Marvel Legends in there. There's a lot of good stuff going on, and they executed it all perfectly because this guy is a whole lot of fun to play with. All the joints have really great range, and I think they killed it in the articulation department. But let's go ahead and take a look, starting off with the head. So he does have movement at the lower neck, and then at the upper neck, there is a hinge on a ball joint. So his head could look down to about right there, which is pretty good. And then you could get him to look up a really nice amount. Check that out. And then he can look, or you can tilt side to side on that neck joint. And then the head itself tilts a pretty good amount. And then obviously he can look left to right. So really good movement at the head and the neck area. Yeah, I like what we have going on there. And then for the torso, he does have an ab crunch and then a ball joint at the waist, which I absolutely love. And we get some really good range out of both of these joints. Check this out. It goes forward a crazy amount, and that's using like both joints together, but mostly the ab crunch. So look at that. Really awesome stuff. And then it can go back only to about right there. It seems like it's a little limited going backwards, but still pretty decent. And then you can tilt him side to side on that waist ball joint. You can also swivel from right there. And yeah, you get some really good stuff going. The setup is extremely well done. Look at that. Get a whole lot of movement. But I think one of the most impressive things is how far he's able to crunch forward. So really good stuff. And then at the arms, he does have a butterfly joint, which you're able to bring back to about right there, bring forward to right there. And these are nice for fighting type characters because you could get him to like cock his arm back like he's about to punch somebody. You could also get him into some pretty dope like boxing poses. Let's see. You could get his arm in front of him like he's punching somebody. Something like that. It's a little difficult because the shoulders are swinging around, but yeah, really good stuff there. And then he does have a ball joint at the shoulder as well, so that can go all the way around. I probably shouldn't be so rough with this guy, huh? What the hell am I doing? Nah, he's all right. He's solid. He's good. But yeah, his arms do go all the way around. They come up to about right there, which is very nice. And then he does have upper bicep swivel, double jointed elbow, which gets a really good bend. Bam, look at that. Oh, that'll work. That's really good, especially because he has this thing on his forearm. Oh, but you could, you swivel it around and look at that. Really good range at the elbow. And then he does have a swivel and a hinge at the hand. So good stuff at the arms. And then for the legs, his hips are on ball joints. They're like, let's see, it's kind of interesting what we have going on here. Like the hip piece is on a ball joint that sits on the inside there, and it rotates nicely on the ball joint, but he also has upper thigh swivel. So that's nice. And you could kick his leg forward to about right there, which is pretty good, especially considering that he has this stuff like in the way, but luckily, they place the slits so that it kind of gets out of the way if you want him to kick upwards. Look at that. Bam, that's pretty good. Damn, that's awesome. Doesn't really go back as much because there isn't a slit, so it only goes back to right there. You could kick to the side. Let's get him situated real quick. Boom. kick to the side a really good amount. Bam, I like it. Then he does have double jointed knee, which gets a good bend. Then at the foot, what do we have going on here? So it looks like his foot is on a hinge, so it goes forward to right there, comes up to right there, and he does have rocking ankles. Doesn't look like there is a swivel in there at all. But yeah, like I said, the ankles rock, so that's nice, and we get some really nice hinging up and down. So yeah, like I said, the articulation on this guy is really, really nice. I was very impressed by how much he's able to like crouch. Look at this. And he's a pretty big type of character. And that crouch is pretty crazy. Look at that. That's really dope. Get him into some like running poses. I don't know if that's the best running pose. Maybe from certain angles it'll work. Shoulders all flopping around. Again, obviously the finished product won't have flopping shoulders, but yeah, once he gets all fused up, he'd be good to go. But yeah, man, the articulation on this is very familiar, but it's awesome. Everything is executed very well. And yeah, man, like I said, he's a whole lot of fun to play with. You could get him into some great poses, and it's just a really, really fun figure. Alrighty, so overall, at the end of the day, when the smoke clears, the dust settles, and it's all said and done, I think this is a really, really awesome figure. SperoToys has something really dope on their hands. I can't wait for this line to come out. I love the design of this guy. He's got some really great sculpting work, some nice details, some nice paint, a bunch of cool accessories. But my favorite thing about this figure is definitely the articulation. He's a lot of fun to pose around. I can't wait for the final product because I know that those are going to be even more fun to pose. And yeah, I think they did a good job of taking elements from other lines, like things that we're familiar with, like, you know, this torso or the butterfly joints or all those types of things that we're used to seeing on our favorite lines, and putting it into these original designs and just making it work and executing it perfectly. So they really did a great job on this guy all the way around. And yeah, man, they killed it. And another thing I really like about these guys is that they have a very like 80s cartoon type of vibe to them. They feel like they could exist in the same world as like Thundercats or Masters of the Universe or one of those type of cartoons, you know? So that's something that's very cool, and it's something that like, you know, a lot of people could get into. And I'm really happy for SperoToys because Jason from SperoToys is such a nice guy. He's a really good dude, and like I said, I was a big fan of their 3 3/4 inch line, and it's really cool to see them take the jump from that scale to this scale, because although I like the 3 3/4 inch stuff, I think these guys are better in almost every way. They have more articulation, more detailed sculpt, and you know, it's in a scale that I prefer. But yeah, man, I'm very happy for them. I wish them much success, and I cannot wait for the whole line to come out because, like I said at the beginning, I'm in for a bunch of these. And I know that I'm going to love every single one of them, especially after how much I enjoyed this guy right here. But having the finished ones, it's going to be crazy. I cannot wait. But yeah, man, look at this dude. Such a cool figure. So yeah, shout out to the folks over at SperoToys. And they did send me a couple of the comic books. I think there's like a 5-issue series, and they sent me issue 1 and 2. So I really look forward to checking those out. The artwork is amazing on those. So yeah. I look forward to learning more about these characters as individuals and not just like random, you know, army characters, you know. Hopefully they all have really cool backstories. But yeah, man, I'm looking forward to checking all that out. And I can't wait to see where this whole, you know, Primal series goes. You know, I hope it blows up and becomes a very popular line because these things are awesome. And SperoToys is awesome. And with that, I think that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Also, be sure to hit the bell notification so you know every time that I go live. If you're not aware, I go live every Tuesday at 7 p.m., every Friday at 7 p.m., and some Sundays to talk about comics. So come through, let's talk about toys and get weird. And I will leave all the information for SperoToys in the description below, so be sure to check them out. Thank you very much. Peace.